Hi everyone, and welcome to blog 45 of Tackle the Feelings Before the Behaviour. And today's blog is called Parents Can Burn Out. So this isn't something that I have read or anything like that. This is coming from my experience because I work with families with children under 5 years old. And this is where I just see symptoms of burnout, if not full-blown burnout, so regularly. And the family combination I sort of see it in is when you've got a toddler or more than one toddler or child, at least one under 5, and then a baby, new baby, or the baby's a couple of months. And so there's a big change in the home. And with a new baby, as you parents know, it's exhaustion, it's full on. There's a lot of adjusting. And then there's the hormones. As women, your bodies take a while to mellow all those hormones out, and you're very emotional, and all of you are just quite fragile emotionally, mentally, even physically during this time. Add a little toddler into the mix and it can be extraordinarily hard. And this is why I say it's like a burnout. And most of us associate burnout in the workplace, where we keep pushing and pushing and pushing ourselves through distress, through a toxic environment for ourselves, through something going on for us or happening to us, or whatever the case may be, within a place where we start to feel less and less in control. It starts to permeate. The problems at work come home with you. You start to nightmare. You'll see this a lot in professions like paramedics, or in my profession, counseling and psychology, and working with trauma in any way. There's a lot of burnout. But you also get burnout when you've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders and you're not taking care of your needs. You are self-sacrificing yourself. And what I explain to parents in this kind of overwhelmed feeling that burnout is, it's like, imagine you are a sponge and you keep everything that happens, and good and bad, keeps adding into your sponge as water. And the sponge fills and fills and expands and expands. But as the stress builds up inside you, once that sponge hits saturation point, even the smallest little drop of water is going to feel enormous. So you lose control of stability within yourself. You lose control of feeling in control of your reactions. And it's a very frustrating place to be. It's a very trapped, suffocating place to be. It's overwhelming to the point of wanting to shut down, run away, give up. And then as a parent, especially when you have those feelings, then comes the shame, the self-loathing, the guilt that you feel for feeling those things without taking into account just what has got you into this point of self-loathing and despair and insecurity and fear. That is burnout. That is, if you don't stop, something's going to stop you feeling. For instance, getting ill, or something in you will trigger a sort of warning to say, if you don't slow down, we're going to slow you down. If you don't listen to these warning signs, they're going to get more and more in your face. And that's what tends to happen. And I see illness running through the homes. I see children acting out. I see absolute isolation in this, because what you receive on the outside world seems to be a lot of judgment and a lot of nasty little looks and comparisons between children, and then this lovely word of autism or ASD, autism spectrum disorder, gets thrown around, and you get told that your child is a terror and has a disability, and you can't control your child, you're a bad parent. Often family members or friends don't want to help out and look after the kids because they can't have your kids because they're so noisy and out of hand. And it becomes this horrible little hole that you tend to sink deeper and deeper. And one of the common things that happens, especially if there's a new baby in the home, or if there's a lot of stress with the children or child in the home, is if you are in a couple, in a relationship, parenting, co-parenting, it puts a lot of strain on the relationship. I think most of you know with kids, trying to find that romantic, carefree side of yourself, that sexual side of yourself, is very, very difficult as a parent when you've got little ones and they're scared at night, they come into your room, you're exhausted. Women's hormones are all over the place. Men have a lot of pressure, often having to work while the woman takes maternity leave, or both of you are working, or you're not working. There's financial strain. It's really difficult. It's a difficult time, and it's hard to meet in the middle because you're both, if you're in a relationship, coming from very different upbringings. Even if you've got the similar values and you've got similarities, you come from different families and things were done differently. And you've got to find a way to co-parent in the middle and agree. If you are separated families, that is even more challenging. Excuse my voice. It's even more challenging to meet in the middle and find parenting things that work. So what happens there is a lot of inconsistency. A lot of inconsistency for the child, your children. If you are struggling to divide your time between children and you have this guilt that no one's getting the best of you, that you're just not doing a good job, and you worry, this all gets absorbed by the kids. And so what do you get? Tantrums. If you've got under fives, acting out, defiance, not listening. The most infuriating thing is they act like they just haven't heard you. And the older ones, if they start getting 5, 6, they cotton on that this really does work. If they don't want to do something, or if you've said no, or I said no, what did I say? And they just march up and do it anyway. That's defiance. That's not listening. But it's also showing you a disconnect in the relationship, the attachment relationship, that important bond between you. That they are pushing boundaries, which is normal. But they're also defying you. They're not feeling that they can communicate with you. They're showing you they are angry with you. They're showing you that they don't have that respect for you, or something's happened. The power play in the home has shifted. And often when there's a change or new sibling, this happens. Tantrums and things also happen when the child is vulnerable. So if they're sick, or if there's grief in the home, or something has shaken them up, then they're going to cling, then they're going to act out. But when you're getting regular tantrums and the child isn't able to manage those emotions, and it's getting worse and worse, and they're doing self-harming things, they're hurting themselves, hurting other people, getting aggressive, getting destructive, you've got to get in there. And I speak about the tantrums and the behavior because that is usually what sets off this burnout. Because you can't leave your child for a period of time to just entertain themselves. They are full on. And they don't want you to leave them because they're feeling insecure. So every time you have to attend to the baby, or you have to do something, or you want to take some time for yourself, the child wants to be with you. If you aren't able to do that, you'll often see regression with the child, where your little one starts acting younger, climbing in the baby's things, doing what the baby's doing, crying when the baby cries, calling you, doing something really naughty to get your attention because they've learnt it works. Sorry, they learn it works when they do these naughty things. So it takes some tweaking, and that's another blog, and I will talk about this in another blog. I know it's a popular thing as well in my job, especially when they're doing, how do you manage not reacting if they are about to go and pull out a knife, or pull down everything in the shelves of the fridge, or hit themselves, or whatever they do. So that is another blog, and there are ways to do this, and it's a process. There's no quick fix. There's no magic pill. There's just trial and error and an understanding about how they are experiencing the world. So with parental burnout, there's going to be that side of understanding and working on the issues you're having. But really, you need to prioritize self-care. You're losing who you were before, a partner and a parent and all those roles in your life. It's that disconnection from yourself that is burning you out. It is that inability to get some space, to rest. And so it's really up to you how you can go about doing this. My guidance is find ways. If you need to find little 5-10 minute meditations to do while you're in the middle of going somewhere, if you do it walking meditations, or do you need to have a bath every so often? Do you need to get someone to come and help look after the kids? Do you need to get a babysitter and go out as a couple? Do you need to take a nap and sort of just pop that TV on just for a little bit so that you can just read a magazine and have a cuppa? I don't recommend doing that all the time. If you're doing that a lot, you need something else in place. But if you're going to take that every so often, that's okay, because your well-being will make you a better person. The better your well-being is, the better parent you are. Sorry, not person, parent. Children need consistency. You cannot be consistent if you are exhausted and burning out, overwhelmed to the max, because you are just not getting any time to recharge, any time to yourself. As a couple, you've got to tag team this a lot of the time, but support each other. Friends of people with young children, if you can help out where you can, do it. If you have to order out and have a taken meal so you just get a bit of extra time, do it. You're not a bad parent for taking some shortcuts. You're not a bad person for pampering yourself, for just leaving your child for that little bit longer while you just gather your thoughts and calm yourself down. In fact, you're doing a really great thing for your child. So, I hope that's been helpful. Thank you for putting up with my somewhat croaky voice. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to hear about a topic, pop that in the comments as well. So I hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye.